Hi there, Bilal. My name's Andrew, and I work here at IELTSpodcast.com with Ben and the others. Thanks for submitting your single essay correction. With these trials, what we try to do is give you an idea of our style and what we try to achieve here. So in order to make significant improvements to writing abilities, we need to do essentially repeated corrections over time, multiple essays, and this trains you in being able to spot your own mistakes and correct your own work, which obviously will help you greatly in the exam. But for now, we can give you about 5 or 6 minutes worth of helpful advice and tips regarding the mark scheme with your own work as example. So you've chosen to do a task 1. The whole point of a task 1 is the ability to describe data well, to summarize information, to spot trends and patterns, to group data together, but never to add any extra information, and never to be subjective, always to remain as objective and precise as possible. So let's see how well you did with regard to that. I would say the graph demonstrates, illustrates, or represents information from the World Pet Organization regarding the number of residents in Wales, Canada, America, Ireland, Scotland, and England who owned pets between 1990 and 1998. Just becomes a little bit more accurate. Overall, I would say, because fluctuate and vary are the same word really, so you can't use this to describe this because they're the same thing. That's like a mega fluctuation. Who owned pets in these 6 countries fluctuated considerably between around 790,000 and 920,000. Now with numbers, when we have from the end, we put a comma every 3 zeros. So if you have 3 digits here, then a comma goes there. There is no further digit here, so we don't need a comma there, but if there was another digit here, we would have another comma. So from the end, every 3 digits, there goes a comma. And that is the number convention of academic writing. We must follow it. Moreover, Ireland represented the lowest figures throughout the period, I would say. Tenure involves a person. It talks about the retention of a position. It's not quite accurate here. It can be seen that the number of pet owners in Wales, and Wales is spelt W-A-L-E-S, the country. This is the animal, the fish, the whale, well, the mammal. It can be seen that the number of pet owners in Wales jumped from 100,000 in 1990 to almost 175,000 in just 3 years. But after a remarkable... So, okay, we try not to introduce too much extra information into these task 1 essays. They have to be entirely objective. So saying that it's a remarkable trough is too much opinion for one of these. It needs to be much more factual. A significant dip or a significant decline. It culminated in a peak of 125,000 in 1998. Likewise, pet owners from Canada remained inconsistent because, again, change and inconsistency are kind of the same thing. So don't double down on words that mean the same thing. The number of pet owners in Canada changed frequently. I'm not sure, this isn't very accurate, so I'm not quite sure what this means. But from almost, try to use almost instead of nearly as well. Around, almost, it's nicer than nearly. Nearly is quite difficult to read and say, and almost is much more friendly. 140,000 to 190,000 in 8 years, with a peak of 200,000 in 1991. American pet owners, however, rose with some fluctuation from 100,000 to 150,000 throughout these years. Meanwhile, Ireland, Scotland and England had a fairly stable number of people with pets, with fluctuations experienced, or with changes experienced. This needs to be a bit clearer, because we've described now multiple points in this same line. It's gotten confusing, because you're expecting me to visualize this line entirely. So I would break this up into smaller chunks, or find a new syntax in which to say it. I would say here as well, like, experienced more stability when compared with. So always be very specific. If you're going to talk about that they had a stable experience, relative to what? Compared with who? How do we fully grasp this idea? But that was a really good first essay. If you would like to continue receiving corrections in this manner, where we essentially sit and point out your mistakes, you can subscribe to our course, the link to which is in the email that I've just sent to you. Until then, until I hopefully see more of your work, Bilal, have a wonderful day. Speak to you soon. Bye bye now.